Everyone has heard of Santa Claus, that chubby, white-bearded, red-suited guy who delivers Christmas presents via a reindeer-powered sleigh. But have you ever wondered how he became a man of so many names? From Saint Nick to Santa to Kris Kringle, it's a marvel that Rudolph isn't completely confused about whom exactly he is working for. It might feel like he has been around as long as the North Pole, but the Santa Claus name so frequently mentioned by Americans to refer to Old St. Nicholas come Christmas Eve is a surprisingly recent moniker. The first written citation for Santa Claus does not appear in the U.S. until the late 18th century, where it was alluded to in a mention of a religious event in the New York Gazette. Last Monday, the anniversary of St. Nicholas, otherwise called Saint Claus, was celebrated at Protestant Hall. The fact that the first citation appeared in New York is not unusual, given New York's history until 1664 as a Dutch colony, and the ongoing presence of Dutch settlers in that area. This Dutch background is key, because Santa Claus is in fact a borrowing into English of the Dutch name Sinter Klaas, which sometimes dialectally appeared as Santa Claus. Before the 1830s, Santa Claus was not widely used. It gained popularity in the late 1800s, often invoking Dutch heritage. Washington Irving's writings played a role in this. By the 1820s, Santa was depicted with reindeer. His red suit became iconic in the 1930s thanks to Coca-Cola. Before that, Santa wore various colors, including green and yellow. The popular term for Santa prior to this period was St. Nicholas, a name known from the religious observance of the feast day of St. Nicholas on December 6th. The Dutch name, Sinter Klaas, is actually a derivative of the name St. Nicholas. Historically speaking, the namesake of St. Nicholas was the highly charitable bishop of a Roman town called Myra during the 4th century. He had become the patron saint of children and was known as a man of great generosity. His background made him an easy candidate for later becoming associated with Christmas, even though he originally was celebrated on an entirely different day and for a different reason. Whether going by St. Nick or Santa Claus, the man's enormous celebrity as the granter of tangible wishes also turned out to be another legacy of the Dutch, for it was their tradition to give small gifts or sweets on St. Nicholas Day. This Dutch tradition inspired the American myth of a man with a sack of presents for children. Another name for Santa Claus that grew in popularity in the 1800s was Kris Kringle. Kris Kringle came by way of the Germans, who first settled in Pennsylvania. The name Kris Kringle came from the German word Christkindlen, meaning Christ child. Over time, the Feast of St. Nicholas merged with Christmas in the United States. The history of his name illustrates a wonderful melding of languages and cultures. For more Christian news, subscribe to our newsletter,